morning, everyone, and welcome to the Ankerstar Wealth Market Update. I'm your host, Allison Ankerstar, and today we'll be asking Steve his take on Apple's earnings from last night and if Apple's stellar numbers can calm the markets. But before we begin, as a reminder, this is a financial education presentation and should not be construed as personal financial advice. Full disclaimer, information is available at ankerstarwealth.com. Good morning, Steve. Friday was an insane day in the market with the Nasdaq posting its best gain of the year. What do you make of that?
Well, hey, good morning, everybody, and thank you, Allison, for that intro. We are still working on a few things before I get to your question. So hopefully the sound is fixed today. I heard there were some issues with the sound lately, so we're going to got the microphone out today. Hopefully that's better. Also, I know that some people don't like the moving background behind me, so that is another thing that we are going to continue to work on and improve. And lastly, we're also at some point, maybe tomorrow if it makes it, going to add in the questions, somehow to take questions during the field so I can answer your questions versus the questions that Allison comes up with in the morning based off of CNBC. All right. So what we had, let's get back to Allison's question again. We had this huge move up on Friday. Everybody loves that. Perfect kind of Friday, rip your face off Friday kind of situation. So we love that. If you look in the upper right of this chart, again, it's a 1-year S&P 500 chart that you're seeing here on TD Ameritrade Think Pipes. Nice big green bar. We had that one, it looks like another 5 days ago, maybe last Friday. But what happened last week is a lot of congestion during the week and a lot of selling. And then we had Apple earnings on Thursday afternoon, which really turned the market around for Friday. And of course, there was a lot of positivity going into the close on a Friday. So it kind of closed out a good earnings week last week. Microsoft, Intel, Tesla had good earnings, even though they announced that some things weren't going to happen that they thought were going to happen. But really strong finish to the week last week.
The futures are down this morning, so will the selling continue, or did Friday mark the bottom in the market?
Well, I think that's interesting. We don't know yet, right? So when you look at the same chart here, a lot of congestion at this, what is that, the 430 to 440 range in the S&P 500. So I'd like to see that hold this week. But, a lot of the indicators, when you look down here at the bottom, if you can see that, I know the screen's kind of small there, depending on what device you're on. But in the bottom there, you have the RSI and the MACD, the most oversold that they had been all year. And then that led to the best day that we had of the year already, on Friday. So how does that parlay into this week? I don't know. I would like to say that the Fed moves are priced in. I think the 3 rate increases are priced in. But if they go out to 5, or if they raise by 50 basis points instead of 25 basis points at any of these, that could continue to hit the market. But I think for now, until the next Fed meeting, the bottom is in. But I'd like to see certainly this whole area hold today. And when you look at the morning futures going to this chart all the way off to the left, it was negative earlier, and then you're starting to see a climb across the board. I'm on that left panel there. That's the S&P 500. So a lot of positivity going into the open this morning.
Last question. What earning releases are out this week that you like?
So yeah, for earnings this week, a lot of positive earnings last week. I think we're going to see that continue this week. We've got Google today, obviously a big player, big investment in our book, and as well as personally. AMD is also releasing today. That they're going to give us an idea. And the chip makers are not my favorite, but they got hit hard last week, so we'll see if what kind of numbers they produce there. And then lastly, we have Starbucks. Starbucks is always kind of a good barometer for what's going on in the overall retail market and people, leaving the house and spending money. So that's what we have today. When you look at tomorrow, we have Facebook. A lot of volatility in the name Facebook. A lot of good news and bad news. Some people love it, some people hate it, but you can't deny it's just like Google. It's one of the best advertising features out there. So functions out there. So you'd have to think that they're going to beat earnings in this scenario. But we shall see. And then, of course, their entry into the metaverse. I do expect during the conference call, unrelated to earnings, that they will actually come out and talk specifically about some of the metaverse plays that are coming. Next or tomorrow, we also have Alibaba, obviously a hated name. 25% of their balance sheet is in cash. They're buying back stock. It's completely oversold, in my opinion. Love the name, hold it personally. It's tough to put clients in it, though, just because it is so controversial. And then the last one tomorrow is AbbVie, one of the best healthcare names out there, paying that 4.1% dividend. So you kind of have to like that. And then Wednesday is to close out on your question there, Allison. Wednesday is Amazon, kind of the one of my favorite names. We're interested to hear what Amazon's saying, especially under current conditions, Omicron, all of that, and then see what they have planned for the future. So excited for some earnings this week.
Thank you, Steve, for your commentary and analysis. That's all we have for today's show. I'm Allison Ankerstar, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.